What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben, and welcome back to the bench for another episode of Sci-Fi Wednesdays. We are back on the TIE Fighter trench run scene, and we have our bases ready to go. You can see I grabbed that Y-Wing base I mentioned last episode. We also have our kits. We have actually 2 TIE Fighters and 1 TIE Advanced, so we are ready to go ahead and get this party started. As you can see, we've got the kits kind of open and ready to go, so that's where we're going to start first. We're going to start building up our TIE Fighters and our TIE Advanced. They should go together beautifully. In terms of the bases, we have our bases ready to go, but we do have to go ahead and start molding those. So that's going to be a little bit of some time and a bit of effort, but we're going to go ahead and just kind of kick it into gear and start the whole process. But first things we have to do before we get to the base, we've got to build up the TIE Fighters. So let's go ahead and waste no time, guys. Let's jump in there. Let's start building up these kits and have some fun. All right, everybody, so we are back, and so far the models have gone together beautifully. Really great detail, awesome fit, so I'm happy with that. We're going to go ahead and put those aside for right now. We're going to shift over to our bases. Now, I've got 3 different bases here. They all come out of the Bandai kits for the 1/72nd scale line. We're going to go ahead and start making some reproductions of these bases. So today, what I want to go ahead and do is I want to build little cradles for these parts, because we're going to end up using an UMU 30 product, and we're going to pour that silicone rubber around these to make molds. So then next episode, we can go ahead and maybe pour some resin in there and make our own bases. So it should be pretty fun. Now to do this, we're going to be using some foam core, and you can get this foam core almost any art supply place, or maybe even Michael's or Hobby Lobby, anything like that. It's pretty common stuff. So I just grabbed a sheet of it. I'm going to create 3 cradles. So I go ahead and drop these bases into those, and I can make my own. So this is going to be kind of fun. It's going to be a little bit tedious though, because we do have to kind of measure. I don't want to waste too much of the UMU 30. I want to have it enough so it's just thick enough that it's going to work, but not too thick where I waste a whole bunch of product. So let's go ahead and jump into the time lapse and take my time. Let's build up 3 cradles, then we'll be back and we'll check it out, see how we do. right, guys, we are back and we're going to shift our gears now over to painting and priming, start working on those TIE fighters. And let's first off talk about priming. Now, Joe has been talking about this, and I know a lot of you have mentioned it before, using Mr. Surfacer mixed with Mr. Leveling Thinner to create a really nice foolproof primer. We're going to go ahead and try that today because I really need to get away from the Stannarez. It's just not working very well. It's supposed to be a lot smoother and a lot easier to apply, doesn't obscure detail, and it's supposed to be a pretty decent way to prime things. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to shift over now. We're going to get all of our primer done here for our TIE fighters. Go ahead and prime everything up and then come back with that black paint. I actually have a lot of Mr. Surfacer. I've got 1200, 1000, and 500. I grabbed one of my older 1200s and we're just going to go ahead and mix it up 1 to 1, and I'll show you guys what we come up with. Let's do it. Alright guys, so we are back. We have our TIE fighters all primed. We've got our black panels and whatnot painted. So next episode we can come back and we can mask off and reapply our gray color. I gotta say that the primer I've used, the 1-to-1 mixture between Leveling Thinner and Mr. Surfacer, was awesome. Super smooth, didn't obscure detail, went on flawlessly, didn't spatter and sputter around like the Stannarez does. Really enjoyed using that. Probably found my new go-to primer, to be honest. Then I came back, of course, with some Tamiya flat black, added that around here for the different solar panels and of course for the front window and then the hatch up on top. So we are ready to go next episode, come back, mask off the areas and start painting. Also, we've got our bases and our trays all ready to go for some molding processes here. So we're going to go ahead and do that next episode. We'll apply some Umu 30, we'll make our molds, and hopefully that should be a really simple process. I'll try to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth look at how that works. I've only done it one other time though, so it might not be as flawless as I'd like, but I think we're on the right track and it shouldn't be all that difficult to do. But of course, we are done for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on episode 2 of The Trench. Next time we'll come on back with a little bit more work on the bases, a little bit more work here on the TIE fighters, and I think we are going to be in a good position to go ahead and start getting this thing looking a little bit more like a diorama. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Until our next episode, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on episode 3 for some more sci-fi action here on The Trench. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.